it's pretty safe to say, God give it, God take it away. It's the worldwide American way.
What's going on, team? Proof here. And as you can see, I've changed the way things look around here. I'm now here instead of over here to the side. And what happened was that I got a new laptop recently, which let me record things better, ideally. Let me do some things I couldn't do before on my other laptop. And with that, I wanted to change up my setup here, which I might provide a picture to. And it also came with the idea of wanting to give different varying content to you guys. So one of the ideas I had was to give like a replay spotlight, which is where I go through games and kind of talk about what I would do versus what the person in the replay would do. And I wanted to put these on my website initially, but then I thought about it more and I thought it'd be better to show it to you guys here and we go through it together, because it would allow me to put other clans on the channel besides Spike Brothers without letting me play the deck poorly for you guys. And I thought it'd be cool for me to see how somebody who has more experience with said deck plays the deck, and I would give my take on how something would happen before it happened, kind of like give my prediction on something and kind of compare and contrast what I thought would happen versus what actually happened. And yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool. So let me know what you guys think. The ways I could do it would be either do it in real time like I'm going to do it today, or I could record the game initially and process it, which will allow me to pause it as I play it back through again. But the goal of this is to not look at the replay before I give you guys the game, because it kind of gives my thoughts, my real thoughts on something, like my first thoughts on something, as opposed to seeing it and processing it and then kind of giving a small spoiler of what's going to happen beforehand. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know which way you prefer. I like this way so far in my head, even though I haven't really done it yet. But yeah, let me know. And the game I have today comes from Woudragon, and if you don't remember him, he and I had the Reddit Showdown game, which I showed about a month or two ago. And he had a really cool game featuring Narukami, and I have a soft spot for Narukami because they were one of the first decks I completed alongside Spikes when I first started the game. So I always have a soft spot for Thunder Dragons. And he said he had a cool game going against Altmile. So I haven't really looked at it. I saw enough to identify it's the right replay that I have, because he had a few that he loaded up at the same time. And with that, let's hop into it and see what we got. So we're gonna go. Tell me when to go. So got first Thunder Kid, which is give you a telltale sign that it's gonna be sweep command based, versus Brave, of course, because it's Altmile. Oh, fix my chair here. Or not. Alright, that's fine. So Wu has no grade 1s, or no grade 3s, I'm sorry, and only one grade 1. So unless he draws into another grade 1, he's going to have to ride ACAM here. And I expect him to put his Forerunner behind Vanguard here just to force damage in. But he also has Chatura, so if he calls over to the side, yeah, he calls to the side. That doesn't surprise me because he has Chatura in his hand, which will let him set up a 16k line here. So his opponent lays down a 10k, which is a good thing to do, because not only does it help out Brave by getting cards out of his hand, but also protects him for having a damage buffer. And he rides Redon here. And then if he attacks, I expect Wu to take it, because he has no real reason to want to guard the attack this early, because he's not under a whole lot of pressure. If you called out other stuff like that other Redon that he has in his hand, I expect Wu to probably protect it with a 5k or a 10k in his hand. So let's see what he does. Okay, shifts the battle. Attacks Vanguard just with Vanguard. And like I said, I don't expect Wu to guard this attack. Alright. Hit another Altmile here. That puts an ACAM. Alright, he draws a Meditate. I keep wanting to say Meditate like it's the Pokemon whenever I see it. Okay, so he rides Spark Rain. He calls Chatura to the side like I expected him to. I expected him to call this other one okay or not. I what I would have done, I would have called this other Chatura to the side here and put the pressure this way, because the opponent guarded, which means he has something to bind. So I would try to do my best to put that bind pressure on him, and it lets me draw as well potentially. But also think he could have been thinking about a potential Sea Breeze here, but I don't know what's in his deck specifically. So let's see. Will his opponent ride to 3 or will he start the game with chicken? That is the question. Okay, so he does call the read on to the side, then he's going to put that, yeah, like I thought. Kind of surprised he didn't go read on Vanguard into here and then decide if he wanted to give him a second damage or not. If he's going to play the game with chicken, may as well go full bore on it. Okay, so he checks a second heal, so he goes back to 1, so that ruins any chance of Sea Breeze if he had that in mind. And he still doesn't have a 3, but he's not going to G assist for it, which makes sense because his hand has a lot of valuable stuff in it. I'm surprised he didn't take this other Spark Rain and put it to the side here just for more pressure's sake. But he may have been cautious about getting counter rush down. And then he puts that pressure on his Vanguard with the chair. He lets it hit, which actually that's not that surprising because he would have to give up 2 cards for it. Giving up 2 to have your opponent not draw 1 is bad gamesmanship. That's what I was looking for. It's like a bad idea to do. But he also gets the draw and the bind off of it. So Thunderstrike is active for everything now, which is good for Wu because the more cards in bind sets up the likes of Bulwark Dragon, sets up VMAX, sets up Voltage. What's his name? Yeah, Vanquisher Voltage. Now the question is, will his opponent keep going with the chicken game, or will he decide to ride his alt mile? He goes, the chicken game is still on. I expect him to throw that 14k column into his Chatura again, and I don't expect Wu to guard it again because he did his job by getting that bind off on his opponent, which is really all he wanted Chatura for, was to put pressure on to get a bind going. And he checks a crit, which is good and bad. Good for his opponent, bad for Wu. So now he's at 2 damage. Now he could Sea Breeze if he wanted to, or he draws in the sweep command. The question is, will he want to ride the sweep command and give his opponent first stride? What I would do, I would go ahead and ride the sweep command here and call the Spark Rain in front of first Thunder Kid here, just to put more pressure on. Because he has the means to G-guard effectively to protect himself against that first alt mile swing. And he has, what's that, a PG and a G-guard in his hand. So I wouldn't play it that cautiously, because the more time you give alt mile, the worse it is for you. And he does what I thought he would do, which is to ride the sweep command called the Spark Rain. And I expect his opponent to drop that 10k for the 2 to pass. Yep, okay. Because that's what he's been doing so far, so he may as well keep going on that train there. And he hits that timely heal for another meditate. And hits the crit. Wow. Not bad, Wu. Not bad, Wu. So, what's that? 27-2 crit to his Vanguard, and he has to take it. So, check another heal. No dice there. And, wow. Wow. Okay, so even though his opponent did heal off that damage, that's 3 heals gone from his opponent that he knows of, which would totally change up most of my tactics. That made no sense. That would definitely change my tactics going forward, whether it comes to being more aggressive or not. So he rides into the better alt mile, strides with the lesser alt mile now. And I'm thinking, if I was Wu, he'd go on the fides here, just because the best first stride, in my opinion, for the Brave deck. Okay, he does go on the fides. Now the question is, if I was Wu, how would I prepare to guard? I would expect a Suleiman to come out from being called out through fides, or Does Brave really play twin? Now they don't really play twin sword anymore because less flexible because it has to be boosted. So I would expect the Suleiman to come out, and I got a PG 2G guards I could use and a bevy of 10Ks that I don't really care about in my hand. And by that I mean I don't have them really for their skill, even though you have Jin there for them put the soul +3. It's not as useful in this deck as it would be in other decks from what I recall from playing the deck. So Suleiman does come out. So I would expect this guy to go into Spark Rain here to keep this lane, this boosted lane open for Suleiman to call something else in front of it. Whether it be like a twin sword if they have it, or yeah. But then that would save the starter as well because he would use one for Suleiman and then one for a twin sword if he had it, or something else that uses another counterblast. Maybe a Redon or something like that. See, I would go this guy into Spark Rain, use this guy to call out a Redon over here. I feel like that'd be the best course of action. But that's not what the opponent did. That's not what he did. Okay. So I figured he's gonna give up one of these 10Ks. Give up this 10K. Yeah. Because that way you don't give your opponent more information because he didn't shuffle his hand up at all or anything. So now we got this Suleiman here, 22. And then I would expect Wu to I would G-guard this and then take the Vanguard attack because then I can still use my Conquest or Voltage or anything like that. But he takes that, loses I guess he figured with Impede, because this is after the update, the most recent update, so he has Impede available. Guess he felt safe enough to go to 4 damage against this deck. So no triggers at all. Loses Anastasia. But that's okay because we already got another one. So he's going to stride with Mighty Bolt here. What would I go into? First stride. If I know Wu, best first stride is Zorus here for that on-hit pressure. Yep. And then he's going to call out Egghelm here with Voltage Horn up here. Yep. And then swing this side first because this is going to go bye-bye when he boosts with Voltage Horn. Nice, solid 17K line, good power. Back when I played the deck, this was Death Scythe for Clutch Retire, but I totally get why he used that for the power. And he takes it. And he hits that. So that's another 17K attack right there. Okay. Then from here, he's gonna retire one. I feel like his opponent's gonna pick this thing over here, this dude, Salim. Or the front row Salim. Probably front row Salim. And now he's gonna put this thing in here. Now, CFA doesn't really keep track of cards going back into the deck, but I think Wu has maybe like 22, 23 cards left. So he has about a 46 or so % chance of catching the sweep command off top. And there goes one. So he got that. And wow, both of them, not bad. Yeah, when the cards return back that Wu has here, this number won't increase because it's a little glitch in the system. But we know for a fact he has about 20, 22 cards left now. Maybe a little bit less. Then he gets the ride off. Now, will he want to absorb Egghelm here? That's the question. Does not. He just gets 2 more cards into his hand. That discard 0 restand. So good. I expect his opponent to not guard this, or he can intercept with Suleiman. Yeah, that forces a 2 to pass there. Gets a handy Anastasia, another Chatura. This 17, this is, he might take it to risk the trigger so that way this doesn't hit if he does hit the trigger. But he's seen a fair bit of triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 that we know of. Well, let's see. So he does guard that. Yeah, we've seen 6 triggers. Or not. Or not. So he does take it like I thought he would. And then this is 16, so he's going to just throw that down anyhow. And he has to lose one more. So he's probably going to take out the other Salim. And he guards this attack. Doesn't want to go to 5 just yet. So now that, so Wu is now at GB1, and he has access to Impede Dragon. And with Impede Dragon, what I've learned is that the formula, quote unquote, formula to use for him is the number of units you want to have on the field so that you don't get blown out by the retire 2 is the number of back row units and grade 3 units he has in the front row plus 1. So since he has only 1 back row unit and these are not grade 3 units, if he puts out if he has more than 3 on the field, he can easily intercept with these 2 and then go into his G guard and force his opponent to retire 2 units, which, if timed properly, will be a huge blowout to his opponent's field. So he calls out Albion here, Stride. He's likely going to go into Aerial. Would he go into Aerial here? No, Brave Lancer. I forgot about Brave Lancer. All right. So Wu has a lot of protection here. He has 2 G guards and 3 PGs here. As long as he doesn't give up both Chaturas or some combination of Chatura and Anastasia, he'll be able to stride next turn, which doesn't seem that hard in the context of how the game's going. So if this side goes first, would I G guard it? So now he goes rear guard here. Seems like an odd time to do that. This should attack. Should pay the cost if you do. Oh, okay. So he's gonna call out another Suleiman. I feel like he has another one available still. Which would make sense because he'd get that last card out of his hand for Luminous, or not Luminous, but Brave Lancer. He can easily guard this by intercepting with Spark Rain here. He can still just toss out one of these gens though, not really care. Oh, he takes it. Maybe prevent that last heal from going off. Alright, Suleiman. Is this the one? Or he's gonna impede later? I don't know. What you gonna do, Wu? Calls out Read On, get that extra 3k boost. Guard, intercept, yeah. And then Redon here for 18 is gonna cause another Jin to come out. Or Vivian. Vivian. I think it's Vivian. Why she got tambourines? Random thought. I think This is assuredly where he's going to drop the Impede Dragon. Forces opponent to lose 2 units. Instant G-Guard. Is this the time? There he is. Big kid. When his unit is placed on G, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards, retire and binds it face up. If the number of rear guards your opponent has is 2 or more than yours, your opponent chooses one of his rear guards and retires it. So likely he's going to give up those 2, but then that would reduce Vanguard power. Now he's going to use the second one, that greatest bait, because he can do it again and retire 2 more units. Do it, Woo. Do it again, Woo. Oh. Oh, snap. I forgot about that. So LB4 of Sweep Command, Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 2. When an opponent's rear guard is put into drop zone by any of your cards' effect, you may pay the cost. If you do draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row, retire it, and his unit gets plus 5,000 to the end of turn. So he's going to retire both the rear guards and become a 21k base on top of his 15k G guard. Not bad. That's disgusting. I totally blanked on that because back when I played the deck, I never had a purpose for this Limit Break 4 ability. I'm saying the thing he's about to double G guard, then I got dropped a bombshell. I would have walked right into that. I wouldn't risk a 3 to pass here. I would have put everything. I would have put down the hard no pass on this situation. That's risky business. How many cards are bound now? Oh wait, he put the bind zone here. He's got 5 cards bound, so he can go into Vanquisher Voltage here for plus 15,000. Plus 15,000. That's a good power. There it is. The green-haired assassin. Probably gonna call Vivian out for draw, counter charge, unflip stuff. Or not. Or he will. There it is. Toss her back to deck. Oh, just a hard boost. Oh, never mind. Has to go back when the unit's put back. Gotcha. Can he Soul Blast again? He cannot. Why'd he pitch? Oh, 1 or less. Clutch heal. Didn't need it. So this is way too large to guard. Good game. Nice game, Woo. That Sweep Command play totally caught me off. I didn't even realize he had 4 counter blasts to use. But yeah, good game. So that'll do it here. Hope you enjoyed this format. Let me know what you think about doing it this way or versus recording it and then pausing it throughout. I think I kept up pretty well with the game and had my thought processes going pretty quickly. But yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully you like this and like to see some more. If you want to contribute, I'm gonna leave my link to my email below if you want to send me replays. And that'll do it for me. Until next time, look out for more. And until next time, peace. Be easy.